Okay, so let's discuss the magnitude of a vector for this video, and then maybe there are some other important formula or properties also included will be included in this video. All right. Okay, so for this one we are talking about magnitude of a vector. So you need to know that for magnitude actually has the same meaning as length. So if I want to know the length of that particular vector, then how can I get the answer? All right, so the formula is very simple. You learned it before actually. Like when you're having a point, a coordinate, how are you going to find the distance from origin to the coordinate? All right, so generally you are having a square plus b square, then square root. All right, so for three dimension also the same thing happen. You're having a square plus b square plus c square and then square root. So this will be what we have for the formula for magnitude or length of a vector. So if let's say in exam they didn't use the word magnitude, that at least you have to know the length also have the same meaning. Okay, the length of the video, sorry, the length of the vector. So that's the formula. Okay, so it's a very simple formula. Okay, so let's have a look for example 4. So again, you can see that this introduction part for the vector are all included in AS syllabus before year 2020. All right, so let's have a look for the question here. Okay, so again, they give you a diagram. And after that, they tell you all the details. So what are the details here? So it is actually a cube. So a cube means that all the sides have the same length. And then the length of each side is 4 units. So the unit vector of ijk are parallel to OA, OC, and OD. So you can see again, they give you very clearly the direction of I, J, and also K. Okay, so the midpoint of OA and DG. So OA and DG are P and Q respectively, and R is the center of the square face ABCD, ABFE. Alright, so the diagram that they give you here, you have to also roughly know how to imagine about, okay, because it is 3D. Okay, alright, so now if you're interested, pause the video, try the example first before you check the answer. Okay, so I will start with example part number 1. Express each of the vector PR and PQ in terms of I, J, and K. So this one should be no problem for you to do it. Okay, so for the first part, if they want to get the PR, all right, so for me, I will just double check first that P is here. So the R is here on the side of ABFE. Okay, so for me, I will just try to go from P to A. So from P to A is in I direction, and then it is actually half of OA. Therefore, it should be 2I. After that, there are a few ways for you to do it. So for me, maybe I will go from A to the middle, the center of AB. So from A to the center of AB, the direction is positive J. I'm having plus 2J. And then I will start from the midpoint here to go up and meet the R. So from here to this direction, it should be K, positive K. Alright, so what's the unit? It should be 2 also. So end up, I should have 2K here. So this is my PR. Okay, so it's very easy. Okay, so in exam, you can also just write it out. No need to show any steps on. So they will accept this as your answer. Okay, no need to write in detail what plus what and so on. Just write it out like this. Okay, and some more it is already arranged nicely in IJK. Okay, then if let's say I want to get the PQ. Okay, so maybe for PQ, I try to use another color. Okay, so for PQ means that this is the P and then this is Q. So for me, maybe I go from here first. Alright, so PO means negative I, so negative 2I. From O, go up to D, so it is the full positive K, so plus 4K. And then from here to Q, D to Q, so it is half of DG. And also it's in the direction of positive J, so I should have positive 2J. And then I will rewrite and rearrange my answer again in terms of I, J, and also K. So this should be my answer. So here we done our first part. Okay, part number 1. Alright. Okay, then after that, for part number 3, they want you to calculate the perimeter. So perimeter of PQR. Okay, so perimeter of PQR means they want to know what is this, all the length, the total length for this triangle. Okay, so what is the total length for this triangle? So you should aware that to find out the triangle here, right, you need to know the vector PQ, then you find the magnitude. You find the vector PR, then you get the magnitude, and also vector QR to get the magnitude separately. Okay, so I already get two vector. So the two vector is PR and PQ just now. So maybe now before I calculate the perimeter, I want to get the QR first, the vector of QR. Okay, so the vector for QR, there are a few ways you can do it. You can get it from the diagram, like how I walk from Q to R. Or another method is you can take QP plus PR. Because you already have PQ in first part, right? You also have PR in first part. Sorry, I write it wrongly. This one should be QP plus PR. So you can just try to do some adjustment to get from here to get the answer for QR. So another method is you just go through from the diagram also can. So if you want to go through from the diagram, then I will start from Q and then I want to go to R. So for me, I will choose like this. I will go in this way, which is in the positive I direction. Then I'm having 4I. Then from here, I'm going down. Then this is in negative K direction with negative 2K. Okay, all right. Then after that, if I want to get the perimeter of PQR, what can I do? So if I want to get the perimeter of PQR, it is actually equals to what? Equals to the magnitude of PR plus the magnitude of PQ. Okay, so PQ and also the magnitude of QR. So please take note again, all the magnitude or modulus here actually means what? Means the length. Length for PR. Length for PR is this one. Length for PQ is this one. And then the length for QR is this one. So that's why when you add them together, you get the perimeter of the triangle. All right. Okay, so how to get the length for PR? So again, according to the magnitude formula that we get just now, it should be 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square. For PQ, it will be negative 2 square plus 2 square plus 4 square. And after that, for QR, it should be 4 square plus negative 2 square. Okay, so when you try to add them together, okay, so you should get 12.8 units. Because here they are not using cm or whatsoever, they just tell you that it is unit. So you should get 12.8 units correct to 3 significant figure. Okay, so this is how we apply the formula for a modulus or magnitude of a vector. Okay, so mainly we are going to find the length for each vector, therefore we apply the magnitude formula. Okay, so this is what we have for the magnitude of a vector. All right, so if no problem, then we will proceed to the next part. For the next part, we are going to discuss about unit vector. To me, right, this is a very important part. I'm not so sure because I realized that there are some SPM students, they actually not so familiar with this kind of question, unit vectors that are related to unit vector. Okay, so you need to ensure that you know how to get a unit vector or how to prove, because in A-level exam question, they tend to ask this quite frequently. Right, so just make sure that you are aware of this. Okay, so now when they talk about unit vector, right, What does it mean? Unit vector means that the magnitude of that particular vector is 1 unit. Okay, so as an example, to prove that a vector is a unit vector, how are you going to prove it? So if to prove that a vector is a unit vector, right? So first you find the magnitude of that vector. And then you check what is the answer for magnitude. So if magnitude is equals to 1, then it is a unit vector. But if let's say you get the magnitude of the vector is 2 or 3 or some other numbers, right? Then that vector is not a unit vector. So this is how we prove whether a vector is a unit vector or not, or to show that. Okay. All right. So now this is one way. That means some question they will ask you to prove. Okay. So there are some other question they will ask you to change a vector to unit vector. So to change a vector A become a unit vector, then the formula is you take the vector divided by modulus of that vector. So this particular formula is for you to change a vector become a unit vector. So please take note on this formula. Okay. All right. So we will discuss a few examples here and see whether you can understand or not. So it is actually a very short part now. Okay. The idea is you need to know unit vector is a vector with magnitude equals to 1. That's it. All right. Just that you need to know how to prove, or you need to know how to change a vector become a unit vector. Okay. So let's have a look at example 5. Okay, so I'm having point A and point B, and then they're talking about position vector. So position vector means what? Means that this particular vector is a position vector of A, so it should be OA. Then this one should be OB. Position vector means start from origin, right? So OB. Okay, so you should know about all this basic lah. Okay, then here they tell you point C is such that AB equals to 2BC. So find the unit vector in the direction of OC. Okay, so before that, your final answer should be a unit vector in the direction of OC. So before that, I need to find out OC first. Okay, so how to find out the OC? Then again, start from the information given. Okay, so I will start first. So I will just write it here. OA is equals to I plus 7J and then plus 2K. And then OB is what? OB will be negative 5I plus 5J and then plus 6K. Okay, so information given here is actually AB plus 2, AB equals to 2BC. All right, so AB equals to 2BC. Okay, so now to fully utilize this formula, right, the information given, I will try to rewrite all my vector into the terms in OA and OB. Okay, because I already have the information about OA and OB lah. So like for this one, AB means AO plus OB. Okay, so equals to 2. So you just copy a 2. And then BC you can write as BO plus OC. Okay, all right. So from here you can see that in my solution I already have the OC lah. So I just need to move everything over. Then I will get the OC here. Okay, so what is AO plus OB? OA is this. So AO should be opposite direction, means negative I, negative 7J, and then plus negative 2K. Okay, so for me myself, I really hate to write it out in this pattern, IJK. To me, I think it is a bit troublesome for me lah. So usually when I write it out in column vector form. To me, in my opinion, right, if I write it out in a column vector form, actually it looks better and also easier for me to add or minus the vector. So like this one, if I write out, it should be negative 1, -7, and then -2, plus OB. So OB, I'll just copy -5, 5, and also 6. That equals to 2. Okay, so what is BO? So BO here will be 5, -5, -6, the opposite direction of OB, right? So when you write out, it should be something like this, and then plus OC. Nothing I can do with OC lah, so this is what I have. Okay, so I simplify the left hand side. I'm having -6, -2, and then 4 equals to 2. Okay, then after that I can move the 2 over, become divided 2 lah. So when I divided 2, -3, -1, and 2 equals to 5, -5, -6, plus OC. So what is my OC here? Alright, so to get my OC, it is -3 minus 1 and 2 minus the vector on the same side of the OC, which is 5, -5, and -6. Eventually, you can get the OC. Okay, so for the steps that I use here, I shown very detailed. If let's say you can straight away know what is the AB, right? You can write out the AB answer straight away. But for me, I write out step by step. Okay, so if I want to get the OC, generally OC should be -8, and then should be a 4, and also should be a 8. Yeah, so this is my OC. Okay, but this is not my final answer yet, because they actually want us to get the unit vector of OC. So to get a unit vector of OC, you need the magnitude first. The magnitude of OC first. Okay, so which is 8 squared, or -8 squared plus 4 squared plus 8 squared. Okay, so you should get the answer, which is a 12. Alright, then now I go into the main part to get the unit vector of OC. So what's the unit vector of OC? So the unit vector of OC, you write out the original vector of OC, which is -8i plus 4j plus 8k divided by the magnitude, which is a 12. Then you separate everything, okay, the ijk, and simplify the values. So if you simplify, you should have -2 over 3i plus 1 over 3j, and also plus 2 over 3k. So this is actually your unit vector in OC direction. Alright, so this is how we do it. So you use the original vector divided by the magnitude. Then you try to simplify all the terms to get the unit vector in terms of I, j, and k. Alright, so I hope that you have the idea how to do this. Okay, alright. So for example 6, I think I would like you to try out on your own. Okay, so if we go through it now, you can see that they already give you the position vector of A and also the position vector of B. So first of all, they want to get the unit vector, okay, of in the direction of AB. Alright, so I will straight away give the answer only lah. Okay, so the answer for the unit vector of direction AB should be 2 over 7i minus 6 over 7j, then plus 3 over 7k. I think this is not hard. You can actually try to do it on your own. Okay, then we can discuss another example here, part number 3. So here they give you some information. Point C is such that OC is 6j plus pk, where p is a constant. Then given that the length of AB and AC are equal, so find the possible values of p. Okay, so now they tell you that the length of AB equals to the length of AC. So before that, maybe I need to find what is AC first. Okay, so AC means AO plus OC. So if I try to do it now, AO means -2, -3, and then +1. Okay, then plus OC. So OC, you see that there's only 6J and PK, right? There's no I. So no I means 0I. That's 6J and then PK. Okay, so your AC should be -2, 3, and 1 plus P. Okay, right. Then now, by using the information given in the question, okay, so they say that the modulus of AB is equals to the modulus of AC. Then from here, they want you to get the values of P. Okay, so modulus of AB, you already get it in the first part, which is a 7. And then what's the modulus of AC? Then it will be square root of -2 square plus 3 square plus 1 plus P square. Okay, so you take the square root over, become 49. 7 square is 49. And you try to expand everything and solve for this equation. So eventually you should get P equals to 5 and also P equals to -7. Alright, so I hope you spend some time to figure this out. So the final answer is -5 and also -7. Alright, so this is what we have about the questions about unit vector. Alright, so this is what I want to cover for this video, and then in the next video we are going to discuss about the parallel vector and also the perpendicular vector.